Hello everyone, it is me, your host, James the Food Man, and welcome back to the Man's Kitchen. And today I have a seafood delicacy ready for you. Alright, now that we're back from the intro, today we're going to make a shrimp scampi. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you like the channel, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below in the comment section. Also, feel free to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That way you can get notifications and updates when we do stuff. Alright, and I'll show you the ingredients coming up next. Okay, so our first and most important ingredient for a shrimp scampi is shrimp. I've got about 10 peeled and deveined shrimps here. You can buy them like this. Next up, we've got some oil. I got a little peanut oil here. You could use olive oil. I personally don't really like olive oil all too much. If you wanted another neutral oil, cheaper than peanut butter, I would go with sunflower oil. We've got some garlic. I like to put some peas in mine, just to add a little color. Now we're going to put some butter in here, and you've really got two choices. You can use butter. I have a little knob of butter here, which is enough butter. This is all we need. But I also have some garlic butter left over in the fridge, some store-bought garlic butter. So we're going to use this. But there's nothing wrong with just some regular butter. And we're going to boil up some pasta as well to go with this. Show you how to cook it all up next. Alright guys, just because of the way this has to time out, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these snow peas and we're going to drop them in our boiling water for a few seconds. We've got our pan preheating. We're going to add our peanut oil, just a little bit. We're going to grab our garlic butter, and we're going to get that all around. Actually, no, we're not going to grab our garlic butter. That would be silly. We're going to grab our raw garlic first. See, my pan isn't quite hot enough yet because it didn't go sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. So we are going to cook that up first, and we're going to pull our snow peas out. We just wanted to blanch them enough to make them a little more tender. Now that the snow peas are blanched, we're going to put our fettuccine in the water. You could, if you really wanted to, on your snow peas, you could take them and put them in some ice or some cold water just to cool them off. But it's not really going to matter. We only did like 5 snow peas. The amount that we're doing here, it's not really going to make a big difference. Okay, we got our pasta in there. I just kind of grabbed a handful. And disorganized me is searching for a wooden spoon I'm not going to find, so we'll use a spatula. Okay, we'll just stir that up till all the pasta falls in. Now, yes, before I turn the camera on, I did salt the water. I did not oil the water. I know some people will say you need to oil the water so your pasta doesn't stick. What you need to do is stir your pasta so your pasta doesn't stick. Oil happens to sit on the top of the water. It separates. It doesn't mix in. So somebody please in the comments below explain to me how oil floating on the top of the water that doesn't mix in is going to keep my noodles from sticking when they're at the bottom of the pot. Just my 2 cents. Alright, so back in here, I've got my garlic, and I want to brown my garlic lightly. Okay, just get a little light brown on it. Could be using a wooden spoon for this. I'm using a heat-resistant spatula. I know it's heat-resistant because it's red. You can get heat-resistant ones that aren't red. They'll have a little, they'll say it on it. Generally, though, all the red ones are. Okay, my garlic is starting to brown, so we're gonna now melt in our butter. Got a little square of it. Boom, butter goes in. Okay, we want this butter to liquefy up before we do anything else. So we're just gonna stir it around, make sure we get the whole pan buttered, and you can see that the garlic is still browning. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. I have some in the fridge. Camera wife, how do we? Yes, we do. When your butter itself is actually starting to brown and you don't want that to happen, you can just add a little lemon juice. And that's going to stop your butter from browning. Okay, time to add our shrimp. Boom. Turn the heat down just a little bit. Going to stir up our pasta. Okay, now some people are going to tell you should be putting some wine in here, some white wine vinegar in here. Yes, but not before you put the butter in. Especially, I watched one YouTube video where the gentleman pat dried all of his shrimp because he said you want to have them dry so they sear better. Okay, that makes sense. Then he put a cup of wine and a cup of vinegar in his frying pan, and then he reduced it by half, so he still had a cup of liquid in there, and he threw his shrimp in there. I'm like, well, what's the point of drying your shrimp when his exact words were you want to dry them so you don't steam them? But then he threw his shrimp into a puddle of water, basically, and boiled them. So it didn't really make sense to me. You can see that my shrimp are starting to color up now. And now would be the time that we would add some vinegar or some wine or both. Now I've got some vinegar. Yeah, I've got some. I'm going to give everything a little bit of an Asian flair today. We're going to add some of this rice vinegar. Not too much. Probably about 1/8 of a cup. And we're going to throw in our peas. Now would be the time to add salt and pepper. If you had it, I happen to have run out. And we're going to add in just a little more butter here to finish. We're going to mix this up. Okay. Our pasta's getting close. Okay, our pasta's getting really close. So, this is basically where I want it. I'm going to shut this off. My pasta is going to need about another 2 minutes. I'll show you how to put it all together when the pasta's finished. Okay guys, so I moved over to the counter just so I could show you where I have a little more space. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our hot fettuccine and we're going to put it right in our frying pan with our shrimp. Okay? Then we're going to take our Parmesan cheese. I have a good heavy pinch, small handful, however you want to call it. Okay? And you twist. Hold the pan back so the sauce, all that melted butter, wine if you used any, vinegar, so all of that comes back to the end that you're spinning your noodles in. Okay? If you had any fresh parsley, now would be the time to add it to your noodles. Just give it a little pinch in there. The Parmesan is going to help everything stick to the noodles. Now you can place everything. And this is how we finish pastas like this at the restaurant. Right? We fry everything up real quick in the pans. And then we may add a little extra butter at the end, like I did there. That's very common in the restaurant. If you're using a stainless steel pan and stainless steel tongs, it's okay to, it's loud and obnoxious, but it's okay to use them like a spatula to pull stuff off. Okay? And what we have here is we have our shrimp all cooked. We have a little color from our snow peas, and you can see the nice browned garlic. And we'll taste it up next. All right, so we have our plate of shrimp scampi. We'll start with a little bit of shrimp. Oh, there's so much butter in there. I normally don't really care much for shrimp. I usually only like popcorn shrimp or coconut shrimp. I don't mind the occasional shrimp scampi, because for me, shrimp is a flavory delivery vehicle. Since shrimp itself, like shrimp cocktail, tastes just like the sauce because you're getting heaps of it, because shrimp doesn't taste like anything. So you have a shrimp cocktail, you take a shrimp, you dip it in there, you're getting heaps of sauce, and that's what you're really tasting. Shrimp, popcorn shrimp, you're getting that popcorny, shrimpy flavor. Coconut shrimp, you got the coconut. Scampi, it's about getting the garlic. In a shrimp scampi, the shrimp is a garlic delivery system. Now, if you would have just put the pasta right on the plate and poured everything on, you wouldn't be able to get the flavor of the sauce through every bite of shrimp. I mean, every bite of pasta, and that's what we're getting here. As you roll the fork up in here and go for some, you're getting that garlic flavor everywhere. And I know I just said shrimp doesn't taste like anything on its own, but you get a little bit of that little bit of shrimp flavor in the noodles. And when it comes to the snow peas, they add that nice crunch you want to get, that nice contrast. A little bit of sweetness there. Nice crunch too. To make this better, you could put some bacon in here. Some bacon would be awesome. If you're going to use bacon, I would skip the oil at the start. I would fry the bacon up, and then I would use the bacon grease to brown up the garlic. The lemon juice, you got a little bit of freshness, a little of acidity from that lemon juice that we put on there to stop the butter from browning. So all in all, I would say that this is a pretty decent shrimp scampi. But what's more important is I'm not showing you to make this shrimp scampi. I'm showing you how to cook in general. So if you want to change ingredients up, maybe you want to use ginger instead of garlic, do that. You want to put bacon in here, go for it. You want to use clams instead of shrimp? Well, it's a little bit different, but you get the idea. I want to show you how to build on experiences rather than to repeat recipes. With that said, I am James the Food Man, and I thank you for joining me today in the Man's Kitchen. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button, and leave me a comment below on your variation of shrimp scampi, what you do that's different, what you do that's the same, and maybe if you learned something new today. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.